lots of developments going on the farm. Obviously, you can see that if you go through the video as to what we are doing. But I do have a question for y'all, and you can put it in the comment section below. Not cockswallow corner, as Lord Muck would say. That was pretty funny. But yeah, I do have a question. Now, what the hell was the question? Oh, yeah. What was the earliest you planted corn? It's actually a three-part question. And number them, 1, 2, 3. What is the earliest you planted corn or soybeans? You don't have to designate corn or soybeans. Earliest you planted. Did it work out for you? Yes or no? And what's the normal planting time? The earliest you've ever done it, and then the time you would normally have the best, or you would normally get into the field.
All right, so the way this looks is we'll be planting in the next 2 weeks. I got Timothy chewing up sod clods. Look at that. He's moving right along, 4960's rolling. So what I'm doing, I'm going to explain this a little bit so people don't get too worked up and think I'm a jackass. I mean, I know I'm a jackass at times. But this has been hay since, I think I planted this hay in 2015. It might have been before that. No, it was before 2015. So it's been hay for 5 or 6 years, 6 or 7 years now. And I killed it last year with the intention of putting corn on it, okay? And I didn't do it. I didn't get it done. So I had Grant come in with the disc, or the drill, the no-till drill, and he no-tilled hay back into it, and it didn't take. It just didn't take. And there's a bunch of ruts out through here because, you know, 2018 was not a kind year to us. We had a lot of wet weather. I mean, I left several hundred acres of hay go. I was unable to get it harvested even in the winter time. So yeah, so anyways, I decided this year that I was going to fix that corn planter and we were going to plant corn. Well, I've got all this sod out here, and I was going to kill it and then chisel plow it and do the thing, you know, the normal thing, you know, work the ground. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to chisel plow it anyway because I put the compost down. Listen to that 4960, just purr right along. So, anyway, I put the compost down last year and this year. And this year I put about 5 tons to the acre, if not more. But I figure a minimum of 5 tons to the acre. And we're going to get rain. And I didn't want it to wash away. I wanted to get that compost in the ground so that it wouldn't go anywhere. It won't leach away. It won't wash away. Because compost is very light, and if you get rain, heavy rain, it'll just float away. All the tea, as I call it, I don't know if you would call it tea or not, but I would call it tea from the rotting compost, would just liquefy and run down the creek, and I would lose it, and I didn't want to do that. So I sent Timothy out with a chisel plow, and he chisel plowed it all, everything, including these godforsaken clods of grass. So I knew that it was going to be a pain in the ass to get it broke up, and if we'll be planting corn, so it's really not that imperative that these clods are broken up. It's not like I'm going to be really low to the ground with like a bean head or something. So, but I wanted them broke up, and I'm going to let this lay now for about 2 weeks. It is, what, April 7th right now, I guess. So April 7th, we generally don't plant in this area until the weather's right. Generally first week of May is when I like to get started planting corn. So I've got a month. And I want to get the elements P and K, sulfur, and zinc on here because we're low in zinc and sulfur, and I just want to get those on here and get it worked in, and I'm going to let it set. I really want to put it on this week, but I'm going to let it set, and I'm going to let this grass, this sod, or these clods of grass start to grow. And then I'm going to spray Roundup on them. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to spray Roundup on them and get them to die. So anything that comes up in the next 2 weeks is going to die. And then that's it. You know, it'll die. Then we'll work it up, get the corn in, and that'll be that. So I just needed it chopped up as best I can because maybe I won't be able to work it again. I don't know. But he's actually working this the opposite direction. This is the way my grandmother used to do it. She would go this way, and then she would go crossways, and then she would find the other line. So if she started at the bottom first, then she would go all the way to that end and then come back. So it would be worked 3 times. My grandmother used to work ground until it was powder. I mean, really powder, like this. I mean, this is nice. This is nice soil. I mean, this is good ground here on the home farm. It'll grow. It'll support 200 bushel corn, no problem, if you put the nutrients to it. pH of this is 6.3 on this field right here, 6.3, I believe. Getting a little low on the pH. You know, I'd like to see it a little bit more towards 7, but 6.3 will do. And we're gonna shoot for 250 bushel corn on here. And yeah, so I'm gonna reel him in. You know, just walk up here. You can see the difference. I mean, when you go crossways across the field like this, that just takes all those clods that all those clods that you just can't seem to break up going the same direction, and it just tears them right up. So you'll see what the difference is here. Busting it up. See that? It just took them right out. And that's a good disc. That's a 635 John Deere disc, rock flex. So it moves a lot of dirt. I know the new fad today is to be on vertical tillage, but let's face it, the amount of money that you put into a vertical tillage machine, I don't know. To me, it just isn't worth it because I'm not in the grain business per se. I'm not growing 2,000 acres of corn. You know, not that I couldn't. I mean, I really could grow 2,000 acres of corn, and you know, I'd have to buy a newer combine and get a little better grain facility going. But look at that. 635 John Deere. A little bit sticky here. It's a little sticky here. So anyway, so you're getting the sights and the sounds of a John Deere 4960. He had a little bit of problem with it yesterday and today. Alternator went out on it the day before yesterday, and we changed it to the old alternator off of the 7410, and then that one went out yesterday, and he had to quit because he just had no power whatsoever. I mean, no electric at all, and there's no air conditioning, and it was pretty hot yesterday, so I just told him, just, you know, whatever. And it'll cook the batteries too. So he charged it up overnight with the battery charger, so those 2 batteries are right where they need to be. And this morning for $399, I got a brand new remanufactured John Deere alternator because you can't get it out of the local auto shop here, so they just don't remanufacture them here. They're remanufactured in China. That's a 22-foot disc. I think that's a 22-foot disc. Might be 24. No, I think that's 22-foot. 22-foot disc harrow. So, you know, it matches that tractor really well. He could either go faster or, you know, deeper, which we don't need to go any deeper. But yeah. So, anyways, I guess that's it. Today is April 10th, 2020, and it is snowing. It's my wife's birthday.
Shut up.
Everybody says happy birthday to my wife. She is now 37 years of age.
Yeah. Take that thing off
She
my
was
face.
born April 10th, 1983.
Yeah.
She was born in the morning. The morning of the 10th of April, 1983. She is so beautiful,
Yeah,
and I
well, you
love
just
her
like-
to death. I want everyone to know that my beautiful wife and I are just very happy and proud
Yeah,
that it's
yeah.
snowing on her
Yeah.
birthday. Happy birthday. Love you.
I don't have eyebrows. Stop.
What are you talking about? You don't have eyebrows. My wife paints her eyebrows. I have such bushy blonde hair. Oh, bushy blonde eyebrows.
Shut up.
See, look at those things.
Will you-
Oh, it's so beautiful. And we have Will Wedward in the back. We're just having a great day, and it is snowing on her birthday. Now, when this woman was born in the Philippines, she didn't even know what snow was, did you? Did you know what snow was? Have you ever witnessed snow on your birthday? This is like awesome. It's an awesome birthday present. You get snow.
It's weird. You get snow.
Yeah, it's weird. If I got snow on my birthday, the world's coming to an end.
Yeah.
My birthday's July 5th. So obviously, you've seen the when I flipped the buggy over, and now I'm gonna videotape a little bit so I can explain to you. I've been extraordinarily busy the last couple of days. Yesterday I took 2 loads of hay to the mushroom barn, so that's a very long day. That's 13 hours of driving back and forth, you know, on the road time. And today I went to Lancaster County, Pennsylvania to get some seed. Let's see what I got here. I've got Kentucky 31. Oh, shoot. Somebody's calling my ass. Well, she can just hold her horses. Got Kentucky 31, and I've got Annual Rye. We'll do this first. New spring shackles, new springs, new hangers, new. I used the old corn planter parts. The old corn planter control arms for these. I had Cody use them. They're strong. They are strong, definitely strong enough to deal with that because they're thicker than what the originals were, and they'll be just fine. If those things fail, then to hell with humanity. But anyways, yeah, is that tire flat? That tire is flat. Yep. The new inner tube we put in there, he pinched it. So either that or it just that valve stem, valve core or valve cap was no good. So anyway, it's really nasty outside. We had snow today, we had wind today, rain yesterday, so he just decided he would quit working on this and get to working on the Heston baler. You're gonna love this. If you ever wanted to see the inner workings of a Heston baler, this is how you do it. Look at this. I mean, this is right through the side of the baler. Down in there. This thing is really chopped apart. Okay, so when I say really chopped apart, by golly, I mean it's really chopped apart. So he's got the rail, the old rail ends there that are where they were welded on, pretty well ground flat. They'll deal with that tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow to do more work. He's been inside torching on the other panels on the other side, and he's got some of them out. For the majority of it, he's got some of them out. It's a big job. It's not going to be as terrible to put it back together as what it looks like right now, but he had to go home because he had somebody over for some reason. I don't know who was there, but anyway, they took the oil lines off of there to protect them so they don't get destroyed. Those are the grease lines. So if you didn't know, we had a failure in the frame rails, or the frame of the baler that the rails for the rollers ride on, and it just beat the piss out of the thing. So you're not supposed to be able to see up through there like that, but anyway, so he bought the steel. Well, I bought the steel. I sent him to go get it. and he's going to have it all patched together, and it will be able to go to the field and run flawless like a crone, because we're going to build it back together the way the crone is built. We're not going to use Heston technology. We're going to use crone technology. So that's what's going on here. So, action film coming tomorrow on what we are doing, because today I was in a truck all day, and maybe tomorrow, I don't know. I'm buying a truck, so I have to actually go figure that one out. So, anyways, I'll see ya. I'll see ya. Glad you're here. Glad you were here. My wife is here. I'm gonna go torture her. Oh, here's some grain drill, you know, for grass seed.
John Crowley asked. No, that wasn't John Crowley, but anyways, he wondered if we had bought some baling twine. Did buy some baling twine, $37,000 worth of it. Yeah, $37,000 worth of baling twine. Tim Johnson, what are your thoughts on industrial hemp? Well, it's like the movie The Incredibles. When everyone's super, no one will be. So, yeah, it's just like sage down in North Carolina. There was money to be made in sage. Everybody jumped on the sage bandwagon, and now they canceled all the contracts because they got more than enough sage. Okay, so I'm going to butcher this guy's name, but I met him in person. He is from Spain. Miguel Bosque. I would say Bosque. I don't think the T is pronounced hard. But it says, "Hello, Wesley. I'm Miguel from Spain, the twine guy. I hope you're fine, and you and your family." Yes, we are fine. Doing okay. We haven't died from corona. We're doing okay. Had to purchase baling twine because I hadn't heard from you in a while. But I did get a phone call from the other fella. And I'm terrible with names. I'll remember it in a minute. Trevor? I think Trevor. Anyway, yeah. When that twine gets here, believe me, we're going to put it in the baler and we're going to give it a shot. Okay, this one's from the Truth Bandit. Maybe more like the Delusional Bandit, but we'll read this anyway. Have you decided what you're going to instead of mulch hay? ? The mushroom business, along with other restaurant-oriented businesses, will never recover to what they were before COVID-19 outbreak. Talk about one-dimensional thinking. I definitely wouldn't want to be in your position. Actually, you would love to be in my position. It's unfortunate that you have to think that way. But if you think that restaurants are not going to recover from this, people don't want to cook at home. Are you kidding me? And even if they are cooking at home, guess what, buddy? They're using mushrooms. They are using them. And my position is just fine. Thank you. Thank you. Glad you're not thinking three-dimensional or fourth-dimensional or anything other than one-dimensional, because you, my friend, will never make it in agriculture. Kevin Lynch. Now, this is the perfect comment to the fellow that said that 2,4-D was banned in the Australia back in the 1970s. And he is correct, because here it is, 2,4-D. Kevin Lynch says 2,4-D was not banned in Australia. Just another idiot that didn't know what he's talking about. 2,4,5-T was banned along with in the United States. If you don't know what 2,4,5-T, I thought it was 2,3,5-T, but 2,4,5-T? 2,4,5-T is Agent Orange. Agent Orange was sprayed on top of the jungle canopy to defoliate so that our soldiers were able to find the Viet Cong. The Viet Cong. Viet Cong were the enemy soldiers that came in from China and God knows wherever else that we were fighting them from, Laos, Cambodia. Anyway, that was a shit that killed a bunch of our soldiers over the course of the last 45 years and 50 years, 45, 50 years. And it was banned worldwide, I believe, for a defoliant. 2,4-D is the first 2,4-D 3,4,5-T. I think that's what it is. 2,4-D 4,5-T or 3,5-T. Anyway, that was the designation. Now, they called Agent Orange, not because of its color, but because of the orange band that was around the center rung of the 55-gallon drums that Monsanto had put on them. So I believe it was Monsanto had put on the center. So when they were mixing, they said, just go get Agent Orange, because it was the orange band around the barrel. Hope that was a little bit of a history lesson. And thank you, Kevin Lynch, for clarifying. Welk Farms. 15 years ago, we were putting anhydrous down. My father came out to bring me lunch, and the shutoff valve never got switched. and within 20 seconds we were talking and the air got sucked out of our lungs. Neighbor was watching us and said he never saw two men run that fast. We were very lucky that day. Yes, you are very lucky. Anhydrous ammonia attaches itself to moisture, water particles. And if you didn't know, your mouth, nose, eyes, and lungs are very moist. So when you suck in that anhydrous, it takes the wind right out of you. Now, my Aunt Beth was bringing lunch to my grandfather on a hillside. And I don't know why it didn't go down the hill. Oh, Jesus, coffee. Because if you didn't know, anhydrous is a heavy gas and it will lay on the ground. It won't just go up into the air like, nitrogen will. As its volatility, will release it up into the air, whereas anhydrous is quite heavy and it stays close to the ground. But she started getting lightheaded, didn't know what was going on. He reached down and yanked her up onto the fender of the John Deere 4010, the one that's in the back of the shop. So anhydrous ammonia is really deadly if you're not handling it correctly or if something fails. Usually when something fails, that's when shit goes wrong. Like if somebody's going down the road, another idiot cuts them off, and the tank rolls over on his side, busting off that valve. The guy that's in the truck pulling it, he's a dead man if the wind is in the wrong direction because there's no way he's getting away from it. I've seen a lot of news reports of guys getting killed by anhydrous. And a few years ago, they were going to ban anhydrous because the freaking crackheads were going out into the field and they were stealing anhydrous in garbage bags, and they would cross the drainage ditch, crack that valve off just to get the anhydrous, but they'd never make it back out of the ditch because as they go down, the gas laid in there, they'd and they were dead. So they were putting major restrictions on it a few years ago. So meth heads, it was killing them left and right. So I thought that was a good thing, to be quite honest with you, because if the meth producers are dead, there's no meth. Done. Last comment. Mitch P. When you say sticker bushes, all I think of burdocks or a thistle of some sort. How close am I? Nowhere's near. We have multiflora rose bushes and raspberry bushes. Now, raspberries ain't so bad. There's another type. They're sticker bushes. Those fuckers have hooks in them, like fish hooks. If you ever got into a multiflora rose bush, you'll know what I'm talking about. You do not come out of there without blood running down your neck, arms, legs. They'll go through Carhartts. They'll go through duck pants. They'll go through anything. I mean, let me tell you something. Those things are wicked. So thistles and cockleburs are nothing. Hitchhikers, that's nothing. But multiflora rosebush, get tangled up into one of those. God, what is the other one? There's raspberries and there's bramble briars or whatever the hell they are. Those are nasty. Okay, call me a liar and run me out on a rail. Nobody sent me wipers or mirrors, so I guess they need to just... Yeah, I use the mirrors in the cab. I will be taking those side mirrors off. They do nothing for me. And the wiper, I don't farm in the rain. I actually just don't even worry about them. When I do need them, that's when I think, shit, I should change that. And I usually do. But I haven't been out in the rain that much, so there you go. Have a nice day. Don't forget to answer that question. Jesus, coffee gives me gas. Anyway, right down the bottom comment section, what's the earliest you planted? Did it work out for you? And what's your normal planting time? Thank you. Have a nice day.